Okay, I've had a few requests for an update to the hides I've been doing the tanning on. See how they're doing over the past couple years. And I start with some hides I've recently done. You can see I got a nice gray fox here. This actually isn't tanned. It is stretched and dried. I'm going to be sending that. I got 2 gray fox and 10 big raccoons I've trapped this year, and I'm sending those up to Napa for the auction. So let's take a look at a coyote I did a couple weeks ago. This was off of my deer lease. This is a South Louisiana coyote. Surprised how good the fur was. You can see the inside, tans as usual. They're nice and soft. Bigger the animal is, the sometimes the tougher the hide turns out. But after a few days, even after you're done, usually after a few days or a week or so, they'll soften even more. I mean, you can see that lays over. There's no stiffness at all in it. Lays over very well. So that's a coyote hide. Put that right there. This is a deer hide that was killed this past hunting season. I just kind of got it draped in a chair. Kind of dresses up, makes a nice hide to lay in the chair. But again, even this big deer hide, these hides stay out in the temperature. You can see there's no slipping or anything. The inside came out extremely white. See here where I sewed up the bullet hole, and there was also we were skinning the hide off. The hide was cut, so I went ahead and put that back together and sewed it up. And you see on the back side, you can't really tell once that's laid. See the bullet holes here. You can't really tell where those are. So let's see, lay that down. Going back to earlier in the season, I did a small deer hide that I had killed. This is a fresher mount, so it's not as soft as the other ones. It will soften up as time goes on. But you see, I've had 0 problems with any hair slipping on any of these hides I've done. I cannot stress how happy I am with the turnout. So you see that's 2 deer hides right there. I have another deer hide I have hanging on the wall on this side, as well as half one on this side I'm not going to take down. This is an Axis deer hide. You can see the bullet hole I didn't sew up, or just kind of dress up the hide a little bit, but it's it's pliable. Like I said, this is a freshly done hide as well, so it'll soften up some more. You can see it's very supple, very soft. It's not going to be as soft. Well, you can see this larger hide here turned out very soft, just like what you get back almost from a factory. I expect this one to do the same thing. I expect all of these to do the same thing. As they get a little older, they should soften up as well. So that's all of those, I believe, from this year. Let's go back a little bit. I've got the coyote hide there too. Let's start getting a little bit older. This was a coyote from last year. I believe my brother had killed it. One of my brothers had killed it in one of their hunts. This is not a South Louisiana coyote. You can see the size on this thing is pretty good. But again, no problem with any hair coming out. Anything. Coyotes are, I didn't realize this until I'd done one. You see all the holes and everything on the hide. I didn't realize coyotes were as greasy, almost like a raccoon, but there's grease in the hair, unlike a deer, which is pretty dry. But see how well they come out. So I got quite a few rugs. Now I got 2 coyotes. Like I mentioned, I'm sending these fox. I got another fox hanging up there drying in the back. You probably can't see a couple raccoons. Kind of wish I'd done this fox and mounted that to have that as a wall hanger as well. I think next year I'll keep one, and this year I was interested in what kind of price I would get, so I'm gonna go ahead and send it off. They're very, very nice. So keep going back here. Go ahead and take a look at some of the first hides I had done. These rabbits, which I've got a ton of these. Let's see here. I should be able to pick out the very first one I've ever done. These are some from last year. And I got some others from last year as well that I'm going to be using to make the trapper hat. So you see these rabbit hides. These rabbit hides come out. I mean, they're just amazingly soft. You can look at how supple that is. That hair, that nice brown. Like I mentioned, I'm doing a video now. I'm going to make some of the trapper hats, the Mad Bomber style trapper hats, where the earlobes come down on both sides, and then you also have the front that'll fold down to keep you warm. So we have all those. Let's see. Very first, I think this is the very first rabbit that I did, which would be 3 years old. Is this? So I'll compare one from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and one I did this past year. Since they're all rabbits. Now, last year, this one was done last year. See, no slippage whatsoever. And these furs stay in my outside shed. Well, my outside shed. Stay outside in my shed year around. We hit several times. God, these things are full and fluffy. See there, no slip, no hair or anything. I mean, look how big those hides are. I could make myself a set of chaps. This is the first hide I ever did. This hide is over 3 years old now. You can see just as well as the ones from last year. The reason I can tell, I mean, look at the quality. You can't tell from one to the other, except for this was probably a 3-month-old rabbit. This was probably a 2-year-old, and this was probably a 2-year-old. But as far as the quality and the fur and the way it was tanned, you can't tell any difference from time, so it's really holding up better. This one I let it dry a little bit too much. I'm going to go ahead and wet those later on if I do anything with them. But I can tell this is the first one I ever did because you can tell the brownness in. It's not white like the other ones. I'd used some mink oil I read somewhere to use meat coil to rub that in and help keep it pliable, but I didn't like the way it changed the color. I didn't like the way it turned out. So you can see, comparing that to this one here, it's just as pliable, if not more, and it's white. It's not a dirty brownish color like that one. So that's why I don't use the oil anymore to put on the inside. I find that I just don't need it. So there's a quick look at how the hides are holding up. I did have, I think one person had posted, this is not actually a tan that I do, which I believe that is correct. It's actually a pickle. So just to throw that out there, but you can see all the hides I've done. Again, here's this one's 3 years old as well. This is that bobcat. You can see how soft it is. But I mean, again, there's no, I'm giving a good tug on that. There's no hair coming out at all. Even these longer hairs, there's nothing. It'll lay over, no problem, both ways. So drape it across the back of the couch. Definitely, there's no problem. I like hanging them up. I like hanging them up on the wall here in my shed to look at while I'm out here drinking coffee with the fireplace going. So, all right, there you go. Over 3 years now, no issues.